Hey there, Jerry. Hope you're having a great day today. Finally got around to reviewing the videos you sent over the weekend, and I'll give you my 2 cents, and we can talk some more on Saturday when I head up to see you. So good job on your finger style. Good job on playing every day. That's super important. Even just a little bit every day goes a long way. It's when we have big gaps in between practice sessions. Like you're not going to lose ability like necessarily, but you won't make any gains either. And especially for Dear Prudence, it's definitely not a beginner song in the slightest. So to have the ability to play something like that, you need the time. We've talked about it before already, but it's like you have to commit the time to learning the skill to be able to play the skill. All right. So like for example, if you just want to strum open chords and call it the day, picking up the guitar once a couple times a week is more than sufficient to do that once you kind of get those chords into your fingers. But to play the stuff to have the technical ability to play Dear Prudence demands that the player spends time on developing their technique. So cool, that's what we'll talk about. So first off is getting the A finger under control. And I'm glad that you realize that is an essential finger to train, especially for these more high intermediate. I would consider Dear Prudence to be a mid to high intermediate finger style song. Just because of the demands of the left and the right hand simultaneously. So a great way of practicing this is working your left hand, what I call touch and play, and a rounded ring finger. So if I switch over here so you can see, I have thumb, I touch the G string, touch the B string, and then touch the E string. And notice my ring finger is nice and rounded here, so I'm not back here like this. So thumb, touch, touch, play, touch, play, touch, play, touch, play, touch, play, touch, play. What I'm doing on the touch, obviously I'm touching the string the moment before I play through it. As soon as I play, I am immediately down. The next finger is touching the string, and I stop for a second to make sure I am making good contact with the string. Touch, play, touch, play, touch, play, touch, play. Making sure my fingers are nice and rounded. I'm not doing anything wacky with my arm. My thumb is doing a good stroke. I'll talk more about that in a second. So that's why I would practice first. Again, the ring finger, all the other fingers are going to behave themselves. Touch, play. Good. So then for Dear Prudence, for the finger style, for the right hand part of it at least, two things. Right hand first is that when you're doing the thumb pattern, make sure that the thumb is moving from the big joint down here. What I was seeing was a little bit of rotation in the forearm. So when you're doing the pattern, I can't remember the pattern exactly. I'll just kind of do some sort of pattern similar to it. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's kind of like the thumb almost looks like a pick, and you're kind of moving between. What you want to do is have your thumb, extend the thumb up, keep the pattern slow, and make sure the thumb is rising to the string, but the arm isn't rotating up towards the string. The thumb is moving from the base of the knuckle. And what I would practice a lot, really slowly, is that actual Travis pattern. It goes to a basic pattern. Just go right here off the top of my head that you're doing. So you see my thumb is rising and my fingers are staying poised over top of the strings. That's really important, especially as the patterns get faster. As far as left hand technique is concerned, what I was seeing was good. You're getting the chords down. That's a good thing. But the next step in fingerstyle, what makes fingerstyle more challenging than the strumming style for the left hand, is that don't think of the chords as going down as block shapes. So if I'm doing like say this chord, I think the chord is like, and then it goes here, and I think it goes here. That's it, and then here. That's it. Think of it as the fingers are going down as a wave. So you put them down as things are needed. Because if you put everything down at the same time, you have to be pretty quick on the draw to get. Now, if you notice what I do with my left hand, I'm thinking of a wave rolling in is finger. So I'm putting them down as I need them. So first string, third string, second string. So, excuse me, in fingerstyle and classical guitar, you're putting fingers down as they're needed, not necessarily as one big block shape on the guitar. One more time, that looks like this. If I was playing that G chord there, so I put the middle finger down first, because that's the first thing that string that I strike, and then the first finger down, because on the third string, that's the next thing that needs to go down, and then this. So it ended up landing. How would I practice that? Is I would sit there with one chord and see if I could. See there, I didn't need the middle finger until the second note. Middle, index, ring. Middle, index, ring. So I'm placing things down in a way fashion like things as I need them. Put them down as I need them. So work on that for me. And then, well, I was thinking since it sounds like a new project's gonna be fingerstyle for the next little bit, is let's do things the right way. I found that when I just threw something into a Travis Patterns, there's always like things in there that I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bad habit. But but when I started experimenting with incorporating how I teach classical guitar and teaching people how to use the right hand on that, I found that the hand was way more stable, and they got rid of all those like little bad habits. So what I would like to do is do my classical arpeggio approach from the ground up. So this way we're not skipping steps. And that way you'll get a nice right hand pattern, the right hand technique, because classical guitar is exclusively right hand fingerstyle. Okay. So the first step in building arpeggio in broken chords from the ground up is actually just getting the ring finger to do what you want it to do. So what I would do is place the thumb here on the 5th string, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do A, M, I pattern on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. So it's gonna look like this. A, and that's a rest stroke. I'm resting on the string behind. So A, rest. A, rest. M, rest. I. This is the first thing if I'm teaching someone after they started doing the Once we got this happening over here, I introduce the A finger as a rest stroke. That way you have nice technique moving from the big knuckle back here, having an anchor to hang on to for the right hand. Rest, 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 rest. And to make it more interesting, you can do that. Or wherever the chords from your prints are, but you can do that if you want to make it more interesting. Notice I'm moving from the big knuckles back here. I'm not moving my forearm at all, right? And then the next step after someone can do that for rest strokes is starting to introduce the free stroke. The first step actually isn't what you think. It's actually just having a hand here like this and going straight back towards the palm, almost like can you do a one-handed clap? I can, okay. Right? That's the next step, is like to practice doing that motion straight back towards the palm, because I see a lot of times where bad habits from people who come in from doing fingerstyle from elsewheres is that they'll do a lot of picking like this out here, not back towards the palm to get the maximum power out of the stroke. And so what you do is this first, and then you go over to your guitar, thumb on the 5th string, fingers touching the 1st string here, and all you're simply trying to do is just trying to brush the strings back towards your palm. Right? Notice I have a slight bend in my wrist, and going straight back towards my palm. I'm just trying to brush the strings with the tips of my fingers. I'm not trying to get all of them, so you're just trying to get that motion out, and I'm hitting about 3 or 4 strings depending. See them over top, right? Brush back towards. Do that for me. And then what I will slowly do is assemble the right hand technique as I would a classical player. And by the end, and it's not gonna take forever because these other steps you should probably get pretty quickly. But I have a set of 7 different arpeggio patterns. I introduce the ring finger, and then you keep with the Dear Prudence, all that stuff, and then if we do everything right, you should have a really nice right hand with a really strong ring finger. So we'll do that. So when I come up on Saturday, we'll start talking about, okay, what's the next step after you can do that is being able to do a free stroke back this way, 2 fingers, and then we'll slowly add the arpeggios, and my 7 arpeggios, and then introduce these 6 permutations of the right hand patterns. And like I said, fingers crossed, you'll be a nice fingerstyle guitarist. You're already a nice fingerstyle guitarist, but you'll be even a more better fingerstyle guitarist by the time we finish if we do every step correctly. Awesome. Work on those 3 things for me, and I'll see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.